Good day, fellow rockers and moshers. Welcome to the Metal Connection, the connection to all things metal. I'm J-Dub, and today on the show we're doing Lamb of God, our 5 favorite Lamb of God albums. So as you can see, we got some guests on the show here, so maybe we'll just do some brief introductions. So we'll go around. Clint, if you want to say hi.
What's up, everybody? I hope everybody's doing good. Enjoy the video. Happy Easter. Stay safe and enjoy, your Lamb of God.
Yeah, good one, right? Yeah, and well, we're recording this on like an Easter Sunday, depending on where you are or whatever. So I'll try to put this up tonight here or whatever after, so people can actually watch it tomorrow. So it's still Easter tomorrow, but anyway, Barrie, if you want to.
Easter, or you could call it, Zombie Jesus Day.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Good to see everybody again.
Yeah, cool stuff. And Dave, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hey guys, Dave, East Coast Canada. Happy Easter to everyone.
Yeah, that's great. And Poss, if you want to introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? New to this conference call stuff. PTB from PTB Empire. Nice to meet you all.
Yeah, and I should have introduced him. Yeah, it's PTB from Poss the Boss Empire there. He has a reaction channel, a very popular reaction channel. He gets a lot of views, a lot of subscribers, things like that. So he's the big popular, the big dog on the show here, our big star. So cool for him to come and join us for this. So that's cool. And maybe I'll just volunteer myself to go first to run through our top 5. Each of the guests here and myself are going to do our top 5 favorite Lamb of God albums, and yeah, I'll just volunteer myself to go first. And I actually don't even own the my 5th favorite, but we got Strum und Dang. But yeah, I'd say I think it's going to be one of the newer out of the newer Lamb of Gods. This is one of my more favorite newer Lamb of Gods, before going into some of the classical back half ones. But yeah, great album, ton of greats. I pretty well like the whole album. I think there's one song I skip on the album, and I know they tried a new thing there where they had a kind of a slow song and a kind of a duet with Alyssa from Arch Enemy.
Nice.
Song, I think it was I forget what it was, but yeah, there's some great tracks there. Still Echoes, Erase This, 512,
Yep.
Anthropoid, Wine and Piss, and
You skipped Embers.
Nightmare
You skipped
Seeker.
Embers.
And Embers, yeah, Embers Pacino. Which actually,
Yeah, that was a good song. I heard that song just yesterday, actually, and that song is really good.
oh yeah, no, that Overlord's the slower song that they kind of tried something different, where he sung a little bit, sung a little softer, and did a little
Allison Kangy.
Right, yeah, you could say that sort of. And yeah, all around basically what you'd expect out of a Lamb of God at that point. And it was still the classic original lineup with the Adler brothers. So the Adler drummer's still there before that. I think that was the last album with Lamb of God. So yeah, great all around. Oh no, I think was Resolution after that. No,
Resolution came before
it was Resolution and then Strum End. Yeah, so
Strum was the album that Randy wrote while he was locked up in prison, and it was the album they released after he got out of prison.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And that is a concept album to being locked up.
So he actually went to prison for that murder?
Yes.
He didn't go to prison.
Wow, really? How long did they give him?
It was 2 years, I believe.
Yeah.
Wow. Just to show you how long it's been since I've listened to Lamb of God. Last time I listened to Lamb of God, that happened, that concert had happened, and I didn't hear anything from it and haven't listened to him since.
That's why between Resolution and that one, there was a good chunk, there was a good minute between.
Is that why there's a big gap between albums?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll get into that
Okay.
whenever I talk about it later.
But
Okay.
yeah, good thing you touched on
Good
that.
to
But
know.
yeah, he showed a ton of courage going through that, being in a like European prison, away from
Pennsylvania.
the USA. So he was in.
He actually had to do prison time in Europe.
Transylvania, yes.
Yeah, he was-
Wow, that sucks.
And I'll talk about it a little bit because I've read the book. I'll talk about it later.
But yeah, that's it for me. Strum and Dang, and yeah, there we go. If Clint, you want to go up next?
I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack because my Lamb of God is a little different than most people's. My number 5 is As Palaces Burn.
Oh, cool, great, classic.
Yeah, I know it's a
Wait,
classic.
wait. I got a question real quick. Old or new?
Who? You'll find out. You'll have to
Okay,
watch
okay.
the
I agree. I agree. The new one is absolutely shit. I agree.
All right. I mean, like, Lamb of God necessarily don't have a bad album like we talk about. You know, they're all great. But on the new album, there's only like 2 songs I like, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I mean, I love that album. Just I've heard, the re-recorded version's better. Just the audio of it's kind of muddy sounding to me.
Oh, you like
And
the
it
new
just-
version compared to the old version then?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I'm opposite of you. I like the old gritty version than the new one. But yeah, I grew up on that. But anyways, there you go. Go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, I love all Lamb of God. It's just that's the one I've listened to the least. It's still overall a great album. It's just I need to go back and listen to it more. There's not a lot I can say on that album. Lyrically, I can't really connect as much with it too because I haven't dived into it like some of the other ones I mentioned. But short and simple, As Palaces Burns.
Yeah, I didn't even know they did a re-recording of it because yeah, the original recording is pretty raw. It's not that great of a recording, to be honest, but yeah, I haven't even heard the new one, so I can't say which is better, but I would most likely prefer the original regardless, but
Excuse me.
yeah, cool. Okay, and Barry, if you want to go up next with
Okay, so
your
my number 5 is their self-title from 2020.
wow,
Nice.
the newest
Okay.
one.
I listened to it. I
just
listened
did a
to it for
review
the
on that
first. I did listen to it for the first time yesterday. Some of the guitar riffs on it are the most amazing thing I've ever heard. I've always been a fan of Lamb of God's guitar riffs and their solos. I listened to it, I want to say 5 minutes before it made my top 5. It was amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's a sick album. I agree. Did you listen to the deluxe version or the regular version?
Whatever was on the deluxe, I think whatever was on Spotify. I'm pretty sure I went with the deluxe. It had like live songs on it as well.
2 extra tracks added plus the live set list. Yeah.
So-
I
yeah,
did a
that's the
review
one I
on
had
that
listened to,
last
yes.
month, or this month I did a review on that. It's a fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that's the
album.
one I listened to.
To me, it
Yeah.
has like Sacrament vibes on it. There's some Sacrament vibes on it.
It did have a lot of Sacrament. That's one of the reasons I liked it, because Sacrament did make my top 5. I don't want to ruin anything. We'll get there, but that's one of the reasons it's on my top 5.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
listened to it, 2-3 hours ago. At some point earlier today, I listened to it, and it's like, yeah, there's some throwback Sacrament vibes on here, but then there's some duets. There's Jamie Jasta, and there's from
Poison Dream.
Testament singers on there.
Ralph.
Amy Jass is on there as well.
Yeah, Jamie Jasta and the Testament singers on there, so they got some duets, but I don't like them really trying to mimic.
Really?
I don't like them trying to mimic the Adler drum style. like, oh, can you do Chris Adler? I can try, or I can do my best, Chris Adler, but I don't really like that. But
Art's a pretty good drummer. He's not too
Mhm.
bad. I've been listening to this album for the past few weeks after the review. I'm really starting to like it, man. On the Hook is just a fucking fantastic song. Absolutely love that song. It's the best on the album. But
Yeah, the
I
last
might have to
track.
actually give that album another try then. I just can't, I haven't listened to it all that much either. I might need to go back and listen to it.
It's Lamb of God. They don't really have a bad album.
I
This is
agree.
true. This is true.
I agree.
yeah, I just I mentally get a little bummed out because I know Chris Adler's not on there, and like some of his fills and things like that would be slightly different rather than just like generic fills. Like, okay, he would do this here, he would do this here, but no, he probably wouldn't. He would actually probably do this there and this there. So I feel like they probably got some of the fills and some of his little nuances off a bit, but I don't know. They had to keep going with that same drumming style to keep that Lamb of God sound, that signature Lamb of God sound going. So I understand, but I'm having a tough time with it. But
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I keep holding my breath. Maybe one day that, because I don't think that he left with bad blood. I don't think. So I hope maybe one day Chris Sadler
No,
might.
they're still friends. They're still friends.
So there might be a chance one day Chris Sadler could come back. Maybe.
I sure hope so. Like, to me, that's Lamb of God. Like his drumming is the reason Lamb of God has that signature sound. Without that drumming pattern, that style that he had,
I disagree on that comment. I think that Randy's vocals is the reason Lamb of God is Lamb of God. But
Yeah.
I mean,
story.
He's
yeah.
got very distinct vocals.
And you know what's funny about it? I watched a Wildwire interview saying that he didn't want to scream. He didn't want to scream at all, and then he just fucking ended up screaming because he's a punk head. He's always
Yeah.
been a hardcore punk head.
Oh,
And
that's
that's
interesting.
wild to me, man. That's fucking
Yeah.
wild to me. So
The thing is, originally when he wanted, he didn't really want to scream, and if it was up to him, the band would sound a lot more like Bad Brains.
yes,
I heard him say
that's
that in
all-time favorite
that same
band, yep.
interview. He's talked about the band would be a lot more like Bad Brains if it was up to him.
the earlier stuff.
Totally other direction.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
that's why I mentioned about one of my favorite Lamb of God songs, and I heard in a little bit, but I'll try to.
yeah, cool stuff. We'll move along, and so Dave, you want to go up here?
Sure. Yeah, it was already mentioned. I was actually going to go with Sturm as my number 5, but that one's my number 5.
Ah, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like it.
Self-titled,
I mean-
your number 5, sir. Self-titled. Okay.
Self-titled, yeah. Yeah, I was going to go with Sturm as my number 5 because I really like that album too. But I don't know, just the new one really spoke to me. I find in their later albums they got a little more like, well, they always had that groove sound, but especially with the self-titled, they're a little more melodic. I find compared to some of their other albums.
Yes.
So
Yes, for sure. I noticed that too.
So, and yeah, I like the tracks with Jamie Jassa. I'm a big Hatebreed fan, so love Jamie. Yeah, Chuck Billy, that Roots track, pretty good. And yeah, you're right there. That track on the Hook, killer track. Love that
Fucking
one.
love that track. I
Yeah.
love the ending. The ending is just
Yeah.
fucking brutal.
My
Love it,
favorite
dude.
song on that album is the second song, Del
Checkmate.
Morta, however you say,
Checkmate.
Del Morta.
Memento Mori. That's the first track.
Yeah,
That's first track.
that's my favorite song on that album.
That's a good
That
song.
track scared the fucking
really
shit out
like
of me the
that
first
song.
time I heard it, dude. Scared the fucking literal shit out of me, dude. I almost
But
crapped my
yeah,
pants when I heard that.
it took a bit for the album to grow on me. I mean, I agree with some of what Jamie was saying. Yeah, some of the tracks are kind of hit or miss, but overall, it's a pretty solid album.
Mhm.
I agree.
But great pick on that Sturm there, Jamie. I almost picked that one. Great album.
Yeah, yeah, and well, I guess I don't know if I'd say bring them now, but I know like if I had to choose, if we were doing a full ranking, I
Yeah.
would have the Lamb of God self-titled over Resolution.
Yeah.
I like
We
the
should do a full ranking.
I do like
that we
the
didn't do it.
newest one over the Resolution album. I know the
Yeah.
album super didn't connect with me, so you
Me
won't
either.
Resolution on my top five. So it'll be interesting if someone else has it on their top five, if maybe they love it.
Yeah. See, that's the only album I don't have on vinyl. I can never find it on vinyl.
Hmm.
And I was making sure I had the name. I was like, hopefully it's Resolution because I don't know it, but
Resolution.
I'm pretty sure it's Resolution. But
Yeah.
that's actually my least favorite Lamb of God album, I think.
Mine too, actually. Yeah. I never really. Yeah.
This is more of like this is almost like more of like a mid show topic. But I was like, maybe I'll just say it now. Like that, the Resolution is probably my least favorite Lamb of God album, but
Yeah. It's got some good tracks on it though. It's not bad.
and then yeah, maybe someone else could maybe as we go along, you guys can maybe mention your least favorite Lamb of God album or something. But so Poss, if you want to go up with your first pick, well, not your first pick, but your
Let me go over. Let me do an overview of everybody. Let me just make sure I'm paying attention. You picked Sturm, right, Jamie?
Yes.
Clint, you picked As the Palaces Burn old version and new version. You combine them together, correct? And then both of you guys below me, Barry and Dave, you're down below me on my screen. You guys picked the self-titled.
Yep.
Deluxe and regular.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm just gonna tell you right now, this is gonna be going in the other direction. I have the least most playtime on this album. This album just never stuck with me. I mean, it's still top 5. It's a fucking fantastic album, but I'm going with New American Gospel. The reason why I'm picking New American Gospel is because I never fully fucking listened to this album. I never fully got into it. There's just 2 songs on here that I really played a lot, and that's Taryn Hubbard's In the House of Frank Pollard and Pariah. And I love Black Label too, of course. But
it didn't even make my top 5, so I feel bad.
I never got around to listening to this, man. Never. So at one point in time on my channel, I think I'm gonna have to put this up for an album review. Maybe I can dive into it, because when I do my album reviews, I look at the genre, I look at the inspirations that the album included, and I give it the rating, and I give my top 3 songs on the album. But this album, there's not really too much to talk about. The reason I put it on my top 5 is because I want to hear more from this album. I really do. And like, as you guys know, Jamie especially knows that I have 1,000+ requests to get to and album reviews to get to. It's just, there's not enough time in a day, not enough time in a year to get to all these fucking music requests. But yeah, this is definitely going on my list to do for an album review. It's still a great album from the songs that I have heard, but the reason I'm putting it on my top 5 is because it needs to be done. It's not necessarily one of my favorites, but it's just it's an album that I never got into, so I want to get into it. The reason why I didn't put the others on my top 5 is because I hardly played them. But yeah, this is definitely an album I'm gonna give to my top 5. That's basically all I gotta say about it. I gotta say that Randy's vocals on this album, I feel that they were still progressing. Because I listened to Burn the Priest self-titled, fucking fantastic album. But his vocals just really, whoever mixed this album and whoever mastered this album didn't know what they were doing. This album's very sludgy. It's very, the tracks that I listen to is just really sludgy. You can barely hear the vocals. I don't know. It's to me, it's not worthy of being in my top 3, and that's it.
I actually kind of agree with that. I found that album not to be produced very well. It does have a very like sludgy, kind of muddy sound to it compared to the other albums. Yeah, like even the Burn the Priest debut, like that's to me that sounds a lot better than New
Yeah.
American. Yeah,
That's because I believe that's because the guys themselves actually mixed and mastered their
Yeah.
self-titled for Burn the
Yeah.
Priest. They did better than their producer did. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, it's definitely raw. Yeah, they were definitely finding their way. You know, you can just see the footprints with Burn the Priest, that the New American Gospel, and then As the Palaces Burn, and then Ashes of the Wake. Like you can literally just see it like progress naturally, like just the way the albums are in that order. You can just hear it. Like just New American Gospel has a touch of the Burn the Priest, but then a touch of where they were going, but then actually that kind of segues right into my next pick. Actually, my next pick for my number 4th favorite is As the Palaces Burn, because that's where New American Gospel eventually goes.
Yeah.
Segueing into where they're going into this, and then basically on this you can hear
way better production.
Pretty much the signature Lamb of God sound, like
that's where the developers sound.
Like you could hear pretty much it. They didn't fully have Ashes of the Wake sound yet, but you could hear it pretty well in 80-90% of the DNA on this album. So this is an all-around classic, to me, classic Lamb of God album that they still even play some of the essentials off this album still to this day, like Ruin, 11th Hour, even Vigil, even they still play, you know, and even As the Palaces Burn. So they still play some songs off this album. So this is kind of like your classic, you know, album that you should know from Lamb of God if you're gonna, you know, become a big fan and things like that. But yeah, all around great album. And yeah, the production isn't the greatest, but you know, it has that, there's some raw charm to it, right? Some of that raw, you know, when album kind of sounds raw, kind of like the first Slipknot and things like that, when it's chaotic and raw, right?
Sounds like Iowa.
Kind of adds some charm to it, right? So that's kind of where this album is. There's some charm to it, although, you know, obviously the production isn't quite there yet, but there's definitely a sign of things to come. Like when you hear this, you know that it's okay, this band's probably gonna figure it out and go places. And I had this, I think I had the CD back even when before Ashes of the Wake can come out, and yeah, they were creating a buzz. And then when the Ashes of the Wake came out, it just boom, it hit.
Dude, I love the album cover on ATPB. It's fucking amazing. It's an amazing album. The cowhead statue or the cowhead fucking skeleton, that's just fucking metal, dude. If that's not the most metal thing you've ever seen in your life, I don't know what is the most metal thing. Obviously, Cannibal Corpse.
Isn't that Demon Hunter? Isn't that Demon Hunter's logo? Is the cow skull?
Yeah.
Yes, I believe they copied them. Yeah. Well, Demon Hunter is actually not. Wait, where's Clint at? He left.
Oh, yeah. Clint left.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, Demon Hunter is a demon skull. It's not the cow head.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, As the Palaces Burn.
You know what I was thinking? It was Job for a Cowboy that has the cow skull.
No,
that's Baphomet.
Job for a Cowboy has gold skull. Upon him, he has a cow skull.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's Baphomet. That's Job for a Cowboy. But yeah.
Yeah, Job for a Cowboy has like a gold skull. Upon him, Burning Body has a cow skull as a logo.
Yes. Another band I've not listened to.
Oh, the order got messed up. So then, Clint, you would be up next, I believe.
Mhm.
All right, my number.
Oh.
Can you hear me okay?
You froze,
You're
you
lagging a
froze
little
for a
bit, man.
second.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you froze for a
Okay.
second. You're good.
You're good.
Yeah. Revolution's probably, or Resolution
Oh, it's frozen
Resolution?
again.
is probably my number 4. I just kind of like, it ain't
Oh,
the
Resolution.
best. Has some great songs, and the songs that are on it are great songs. And there's track 6, Leviathan, like just whenever he like lays in the vocals like a I think that's the name of the song. I think it's on the lyric book, or
The number
there's something
6
like
is 6.
what?
The number 6 is the 6th track. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but something is it a hidden
Insurrection's
track? I
fucking
can't remember.
amazing
There's a song called Leviathan.
Reclamation Live? That's from Wrath. So
No. Like there's I think it's track 6 is like when he lays into the vocals and he goes like a scalpel to my brain, and just visually, just like when he lays into those words, I was like, oh, I just thought they were really great. Like his lyrics have always been good, but that's what my favorite thing about, one of my favorite things about Lamb of God is the way Randy can put pictures to words. Like he's creative how he writes, and lyrically, that's like an incredible album.
this album didn't
Short and
sit well
simple.
with me, man.
That's what
I don't know. It just didn't really get my full attention, and that's
Hmm.
why it's not. Obviously, that's why I'm not picking it. But yeah,
Yeah.
that it's not there.
It's an
Not
album
there
that
for me, man.
it's never an album that never spoke to me.
I never explored the full album, but yeah, like I just not really. The guitar tone is just not. It's not as the palace is burned guitar tone or ashes of the wake guitar tone. So on that note, yeah, it's definitely not gonna make my top 5. But
Yeah, I find Resolution kind of a strange album because it's almost like it's an experimental album for them. It's like
very
different from their,
experimental. Yeah,
it's different from their other stuff. Like I don't know. Like when you listen to it, yes, you can hear, yeah, it's Lamb of God, but it doesn't sound like any of their other albums to me, anyways.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I like about it. It's a bit different.
That's why I like doing this,
Yeah,
man.
that's
It's
what I
nice to
can
hear
say about it.
other people's opinions, like how they feel about stuff, and like having a debate about albums. Man, I've fucking been wanting to do this for years with the channel. So shout out goes to Jamie for fucking doing this, man. Thank you, man. Seriously, this is fucking cool as shit idea. No one on YouTube does this, so I fucking love this shit. So, but yeah.
Yeah, I think I prematurely spoke on Resolution because, yeah, I was gonna say like it's probably my least favorite Lamb of God album. Again, it's like I haven't listened to it. I didn't even listen to it in the lead up of the show, but it's actually I should challenge myself to actually try to get into it more because I don't know if I ever fully gave it a chance when it came out, and I don't know if I even still give it a chance now. Like it's good, it's heavy metal, it's fast and what I want, but for some reason it wasn't like catchy. It didn't catch on with me. Again, it's just maybe I just have to give it more chances.
Yeah. It'll
Yeah,
definitely be on.
I would say go
reviews.
give it a couple more.
But there was Ghost Walking.
Like
That's a banger. I think Dead Man Walking or
Ghost
Ghost.
Walking, Insurrection, and King Me are my favorites on this.
So then Ghost Walking was the lead.
Amy's really good.
There was a single. Yeah, that Ghost Walking was the single, and that was a good banger. But then
Very first single that came out on this. Yep. That
think-
and then Insurrection, I believe, was also a
and then
single.
I checked out the rest of the album. I was like, oh, this is generic Lamb of God. But
Yeah.
you know, sometimes you think that when you hear an album only once or twice, but then you just need to play it more and it grows on you. That like a grower album. So that's probably like a grower album where it's not like doesn't like super catch on and hit you all these cool spots. But we'd be going up with Barrie next.
My number 4 is Wrath.
Oh, awesome,
Nice.
great choice.
At least it's in your top 5, man. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
fucking
that
hell
was
of
the last Lamb of God I actually physically purchased off of iTunes. That's the last one I purchased.
Cool.
Was Wrath.
it's a great album.
Cool
Did
cover.
you get
Yeah.
the Japanese
Yeah,
bonus
that's
tracks
a-
as well?
What was that?
Did you get the Japanese bonus tracks as well with the album?
You know what? I'm pretty sure I did, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah,
don't know.
Shoulder of Your God and something B or Bumblebee. I can't remember what it was.
I don't even think
Yeah, that was a
I've never
really,
even heard
you know, for me that was a really good album. There's a lot of good guitar solos in it. His vocals are a little different.
Mhm.
So I really enjoyed that album.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, is that the gold vinyl, by the way?
No, this is actually from the
Okay.
Lamb of God box set.
Nice.
Yeah, here in a few, I'll probably have to jump off, or I might have to just jump off. Heads up. I just had something just come up. I just got a message about it. So here in a few
Okay,
minutes.
if you're leaving for good, what's your number one favorite Lamb of God album? What's your number one?
My number one, or I can go quick with my last 3, and then I'll tell my story and I can jump out.
Okay. for
Number
it.
3. Number 3 is Stern and Stern.
Hmm.
I absolutely adore that album. I'm like, it was almost number 1.
Whoa.
I just, it was almost number 1 because I like the diversity in it. I like the story because not Lammy. Randy, if I can speak correctly, Randy, you could tell he had something to say on that album. He did a lot, like he read a lot of history about the prison, why he was locked up. I read the book. He read a lot of history, and they treated him like dog shit in that prison. He said there was murderers, rapists that were treated better than he was in that prison because he was the outsider. Literally, they would like strip him naked.
He had to fight.
Do what?
He had to fight for everything.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Like, they wouldn't even give him food. He literally had to fight, to get his food. And he took it like a man, he really did. He said he's willing to go play in that country again, just recently. I'd be like, fuck that, but Randy is a legit hardcore dude. I adore Randy. My number 2, Wrath. I don't know where to start. Wrath is incredible. I always liked Lamb of God, but when Wrath came out, I fell in love. Like I had that album on repeat, and I didn't normally don't listen to albums on repeat.
I scratched my CD the shit, bro. I played that shit every day, bro. That shit was scratched to fucking hell.
Yeah, Wrath is just incredible. And then just Randy did some stuff with his vocal on Wrath that he's never done before or after. Like that mid-range on the beginning. Like that kind of yelling. You know about like what the second kiss? It's kind of that raspy, but it's like mixed with his vocal. It just I've never heard anything like it. And my story how I met Randy, I will say this before I have to go, is it was at Ozfest. And on one side over here, and at this point, I'm a young and dumb kid. I was a big Double Driver fan. Over here on this side are the Lamb of God fans. And I was like, donations for the Church of the Devil. And they're like, fuck the devil, Lamb of God. And so I started a battle with them. I was like, devil. They were like, God. So I was like,
Oh,
Oh shit.
there we go.
Did we lose him?
Yeah,
hey,
connection's really
times me
bad.
out again. Can you hear me okay?
You should have said his number
I'm
one.
sorry, guys.
Should have said his number one before.
All right, hey. Hey, can you see me?
No.
Jamie?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, and so I got all the Devil Driver guys. There's probably about 20, 30 of us, same with people. And I was like, hey, let the apocalypse begin. Right when Devil Driver was about to get on. Like, I was like, let the apocalypse begin. And I was in the middle of it. I was like, let's start a wall of death as Devil Driver goes on. They're like, okay. So I got that pig going big. And so we called it the apocalypse. Everybody shook hands, hugged, and was like, we survived the apocalypse. All these drunk guys and me and, mosh pitting, Lamb of God fans versus Devil Driver fans. And we were walking back, and I'm kind of hopping. I'm like kind of limping. And Randy's over there signing autographs. And I was like, Randy, I whooped all your fan base's asses. And he's like, shut up. He was like, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. I was like, I love you too, Randy. And he just kind of scolded me. It was like, he looked like he had a hangover. He just was like, okay. He nodded his head. And then I just went, walked by him. I was like, can I shake your hand? He's like, yeah. And I shook his hand, and I was like, you have a good day, sir. Murder it up there, because they were one of the last bands to play. I was like, go up there and murder it, Randy. And, they played, and, I kind of was like, I was like cheering them on, and Randy kind of called me out a little bit. He was like, that's boy right there kind of pushed me to be better today.
That's awesome,
So
dude.
kind of cool. And my number
So can
one.
I take a guess? Wait, let me take a guess what your number one is. I'm gonna take a
Alright.
guess. I'm gonna say Ashes of the Awake.
No, it was close.
Are you serious? Wow.
My number one, Sacrament.
I was gonna say it.
Wow.
Sacrament then.
Wow. Oh my god, dude. That's amazing.
Number one is Sacrament. Like, I listened to Sacrament when it came out. My old band back in high school, we worshiped that album
Yep.
like it wasn't going out, like it was going out of style. I listened to
Great
that
fucking album.
album, and the first time I did acid and mushrooms, and I thought I was getting chased by little lambs.
It's amazing.
And yeah, that album just incredible. I love Sacrament, and it made me a fan for life. But the rest of y'all have a good night. Enjoy the video.
All right, Clint.
Have a good night, man.
Good
Yeah,
seeing
cool.
you.
man.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you again, Jamie, for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Peace out, brother. Add me on
So-
Facebook if you want, bro.
Send me a friend request if I don't have it yet. Peace
Yeah,
out, everybody.
I'll get with
Happy
Jamie
Easter.
and find out what your name on Facebook is. So
All right. Happy Zombie Jesus Day.
Okay, cool. So we'd be moving on to Dave next. So I believe there's where we were.
Yeah, all right. What number are we on again now?
3.
3?
I think you
no,
were
we're on four.
Well, we're
I
still
think-
on 4.
fourth.
4, yeah. Wrath is my number 4.
Oh, great.
Mm.
Yeah, you match me.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
Wrath.
one's good.
I think
Yeah,
Wrath,
great album.
on all our lists so far. So I think Wrath is definitely an essential.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
great
it's a
album.
great album.
Yeah, and just like it was already mentioned, with Wrath and Sacrament, like when these two albums came out, to me, obviously Ashes of the Wake and As Palace Burns, those are the two albums that most fans kind of associate. They're the Lamb of God albums. But
Yep.
when Wrath and Sacrament came out, like those two albums, yeah, they both of them just like blew me away. And it was like
They're great.
I was never really a huge Lamb of God fan. I bought this box set when it came out in 2016, I think it was released. I bought the box set and I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. So yeah, I became more of a fan. Like I've heard them for years, obviously. I knew of them, but I never really owned any albums until 2016, actually, is when I first started buying them, when I bought the box set, and I just collected the rest of the albums from there. Yeah, Wrath, my number 4 pick, great album.
Mm-hmm.
It's Lamb of God. What can be said, right? So
Yep.
It's crazy how they can have such bangers, but then they're
Yeah.
still like so anthemic. They're like, this album is like very anthemic. There's
It is, yeah.
bangers. Like, yeah, it's weird. It's like not really thrash metal, but then
Yeah.
like it's very thrashy and just go, 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 but then kind of has like a touch of melody and anthemic, just enough to have
Yeah.
it like,
It's
accessible.
also the very first album where this came to be their logo.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
I just noticed that now. Cool.
And that is taken from the medicine. It's actually a play on words for the medicine logo.
It's the medical logo. It's exactly what it is. The medical
But it's
logo is a
demonic.
snake with wings.
Demonic medical logo, which is what the
Yeah.
fuck is that? I feel that Wrath is like a pandemic album. I felt that it was like
It
that.
could be.
They were telling the
Yeah.
future. They were telling the future, like because every track is about
Maybe.
like fucking like diseases and shit. It's fucking
Yeah.
awesome. It's an awesome album.
It is, yep.
And the cool thing about Wrath is there's no like filler intros, like those pre-intro, like track 7 will be like a minute long kind of spacey, wavy track, instrumental track. Like there's no like goofy track. It's just like banger after banger after banger
All
after
the way
banger. There's
through.
no like
All the
filler.
way
There's
through.
no like no like instrumentalization.
The
intro.
only instrumental that they have in Wrath is the passing. They have Grace. Grace is a fucking amazing track. I still can't play it to this day on this guitar. I'm still trying to learn how to play it. But yeah, dude, fucking Grace and in your words, the passing. I could go on all fucking day, but it's not my turn. It's his turn. So.
I think it actually, it's your turn to go up next.
Are you finished talking about Wrath, Dave?
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt you. Okay.
Yep. No, good one.
Cool. We are on 4. Correct?
3.
We're on 4.
You're on 4.
Oh yeah. Still on 4? Okay.
This is getting
Got
harder,
confused.
gentlemen.
Sorry.
It's getting harder. All right. As 9 Inch Nails, we did our ranking for 9 Inch Nails, our top 10. It gets harder and harder. You know this, Jamie. Fucking. Oh my God. I'm really gonna kick myself in the ass if I put this as my number 4, but I gotta do it, man. Number 4 for me is Sacrament. Reason why I'm picking Sacrament is because it's the least played out of the top 5. That well, obviously before New American Gospel. Walk With Me in Hell, still can't fucking play that track to this day on the guitar. Tried forever to learn the lead. It's fucking ridiculously, dude. Mark Morton and fucking Willie are amazing guitarists. Amazing, dude. They're I never heard a better guitarist unless it was Steve Vai. Steve Vai is my favorite guitarist of all time. But Again We Will Rise. The lead in this track, oh my dude, and it goes Rise! And it's like fuck, dude. It just hits you. It's like, what the fuck is this? I remember listening to this album when I was 16 years old. I was like, what is this? What genre is this? Because like I was listening to like Incubus, Deftones, Stained, and other bands like that. And then all of a sudden I just listened to Lamb of God. Joey's like, my best friend Joey's like, fucking, have you ever heard of Lamb of God? I was like, who the fuck's that? He's like, it's a groove metal band Back then, he called it death metal or fucking black metal or some shit. I
Yeah.
thought it was black metal, but but I never heard metal like this before. And this was the very first album I listened to. No, sorry, I take that back. This is not the first album. As the Palaces Burns was the first Lamb of God album I ever listened to, and fucking love that album. But yeah, man, going track by track again, man. Redneck, dude, that's the anthem of Lamb of God. You can fight me. That and Laid to Rest are the anthems of Lamb of God. Pathetic, the drums on Pathetic. Oh my fucking god! I did a demo recently on my channel. I did a vocal cover for Pathetic, just the breakdown, and people didn't vote on it. They voted on it, but they didn't vote for the most. But obviously, Ruin won the vote. Foot to the Throat, really didn't care for that track, to be honest. It's okay. It's just kind of, it's too technical for me, to be honest. I'm not a big tech death fan, so it's not really there. Descending. My very first song that I learned how to play on the guitar was Descending, believe it or not, by Lamb of God. Black and the Cursed Sun, another first guitar. I fucking love this track. This is the best track. This and Requiem are the best tracks on the album, in my opinion. Forgotten Los Angeles, don't care for this song at all. I feel it's very out of place on the album. Requiem, my all-time favorite Lamb of God track on this album.
Yeah, that's a good song.
More Time to Kill, didn't get into this one either. Beating on Death's Door, this is just kind of a track that I forgot about. I didn't even know it was on this album, to be honest. But yeah, man, closing it out with this brutal Beating on Death's Door, and then they have the lives. I'm not gonna talk about the lives. The lives are amazing. They're amazing live. I've seen these guys 6 times live, and they are fucking amazing live. I seen them when they were openers. I did not see them when they were main acts. I don't think that did they ever. They had Philadelphia that were main act, but yeah, dude, this album is great. Unfortunately, it does not my top 3, but yeah, man, track by track, I still do listen to this album. I absolutely love Pathetic, Black and the Cursed Sun, and Requiem. Those are my top 3. But yeah, man, that's my 4th. Sacrament.
Well, it's my number 3. So keep going with the Sacrament talk. So yeah, basically all the things that we've already said about Sacrament, but yeah, you can't go wrong. These are all basically they still play a ton of these tracks live. Depending on the tour, they could swap in, swap out any of these tracks basically. But yeah, walk with me in hell. Again, we rise. Pathetic, Redneck, Black and the Cursed Sun, Forgotten Lost Angels, Beating on Death's Door, which he doesn't like, but I like it. But yeah, they pretty well just Lamb of God can pretty well just pick out of a hat. Like, oh, we're playing this tonight. Oh, we'll play this tonight. We'll play this tonight. So it's not very often they have a throwaway track, and they don't really have any throwaway tracks on Sacrament. I know going back to the time Ashes Awake came out and Lamb of God blew up. They were huge. They were like one of the hugest bands in the scene for underground metal sort of thing. They were like the hottest thing in underground metal. And I had Ashes Awake, and then they announced a new album, and I remember being so hyped about thinking about what's the new Lamb of God gonna sound like. And what I really appreciate is that they didn't copy themselves. Like, they could have put out the exact same album as Ashes of the Lake, but they didn't. They just tried some different stuff, but they still retained this like authentic Lamb of God sound. Like, the Lamb of God sounds still here, but then it sounds different. Like, as soon as you put
It's a mainstream album. It's a mainstream album. I think
because
I could probably place it.
Like, I don't know. For me, it's kind of interesting because when you put this on, as soon as you put this on, you don't think, oh, this is a repeat of Ashes of the Lake. Like, you don't think that at all. So like right away, your brain knows that, okay, this is something new. They're trying something different. It doesn't sound the same at all. Even the production's a little bit different. Like the mix and mastering's even slightly a little different. Than they use Terry Date. Oh no, use Machine. But anyway, the production's even a kind of a little bit more even rawer than Ashes of the Lake. Actually, it's not as crisp as Ashes of the Lake was, but it's kind of interesting that they were still able to put out an amazing album and it sounded slightly different than the previous album. Is great. So that was kind of a sign that Lamb of God was going to be around for a while. For me, it was a great sign. I was like, wow, this band can do slightly something different, but it's still great. So that was a great sign for me. When Sacrament came out, I just loved it. Got play it to death.
Yeah.
Me too.
Nothing, not to give anything away. Like I will say, I like Ashes of the Lake better, but again, it's still great that they didn't just go on a terrible decline. Like they still kept it very hot, like a high whatever, not high pace, but not like a high quality. Still high quality, and I don't know if I was expecting that. So it was probably better than I was expecting. So yeah, really hyped when that album came out, and I remember finally listening to it, and just actually listening to it on repeat. It's like, okay, I want to listen to it again. I need to kind of study it, know it. But yeah, all that kind of good stuff, fun stuff that goes, the nostalgia and things like that. But yeah, cool. It looks like the screen shuffled back around right. And Barry, you go up next here.
My number 3 is also Sacrament.
No, great. Sacrament 3 times in a row, I believe.
Yeah, that album, I can't even narrow down a song. That album is just amazing. It's amazing.
Actually, what's really cool is I think what I was trying to say before, and it probably just came to me, is that how diverse it is. It's a lot more diverse than Ashes of the Lake.
Yeah.
Like the tempos are a little more diverse. Like on Ashes of the Lake, we're just like full on ramped up here, but on Sacrament, some of the tempos change, and some of the feelings you kind of take you on
It's
a bit
not
of
the same
a bit more of a
metronome. I
wave.
agree. The metronome switches each verse.
Yeah.
I definitely see that. I definitely hear that. I love bands that do that because that shows that they have talent, that they can play along to a metronome that switches from 208 all the way down to 120 and then back to 208 again. That's fucking awesome, dude. Like I cannot drum. I can't drum like that. I'm not a good drummer. I'm still learning, but like still, man. Like for a
Oh yeah,
band
don't get
to
me
be able
started
to
on their
switch
drums. Their
tempos,
drums are crazy.
yeah.
Like he's running a fucking marathon on his damn drums. It's crazy.
And I've watched live sessions of them making the album too, like their albums with Chris on the drums. It's fucking fantastic, dude. Hearing the metronome in the background, switching, it's awesome. But yeah.
Yeah, I think what makes this album so great and even holds up and stands up still to this kind of day and age is just how diverse it is. Like they weren't just trying to be like super extreme and heavy just for the sake of being heavy and fast and cool. They're like, no, we're actually going to be diverse and do some different things and make the songs stand out, the song structure stand out. So that's probably what hit home, rather than just doing a repeat of Ashes of the Lake. Okay, we're just going to do this every album sort of thing. But yeah. So yeah, Barry did that. So we'd be back to Dave.
Right on. Well, this
Number
one will
3.
be short and sweet. Also Sacrament.
Nice. It really is a great album. You can't really argue that.
It is a great album. Again, like I already mentioned to you guys, like, during the 2000s when Lamb of God was, in their prime, I'd say.
Yeah.
I've heard the albums. During the 2000s, I was more into well, I still am. I was really big into like melodic death metal during the 2000s, especially European stuff. But obviously, when Lamb of God came on the scene, I was familiar with them. And like I mentioned already, I never really actually bought their albums until maybe 5-6 years ago, right? 7 years ago, I guess. Yeah, Sacrament, great album. Again, like we already talked about This and Wrath. This and Wrath are like two of my favorite albums by them for sure. Yeah, it's Lamb of God. Great band, great albums.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, at that point, I think that was 4 sacraments in a row. So yeah, we definitely got a sacrament in there. Yeah, so PTB, if you want to go up next.
All right. We're switching it up, boys. Burn the Priest, self-titled.
Are we still on number 3 or are we moving to number 2?
He's
Number
on
3.
3, but then yeah,
We're on
you're
3 still. Okay.
Burn the Priest. The reason why I like Burning the Priest,
Love this
self-titled,
album. Love this album. Love it.
brutal. It's fucking brutal.
It's brutal. Yeah, it's brutal.
It's grimy. It's gritty. It's brutal. The mastering, the production on this album is just, it's like a fucking truck just runs you over and over and over and over again. Every time you listen to this album, man, it's just great. From Goatfish to Lies of Autumn to Resurrection number 9, Bloodletting, Buckeye, Preaching to the Converted, Departure Hymn. It's fucking amazing album, dude.
It is.
And
yeah.
it's the second album that I've listened to by Lamb of God. Because Joey, my best friend that also introduced me to Lamb of God, told me that they used to be called Burn the Priest. I was like, so I looked up Burn the Priest. And Spotify, I'm calling you out right now. You got the wrong fucking album cover for Burn the Priest, and you're pissing me off putting this one on fucking Spotify. You need to put the one that shows the priest burning on the stake. That is the original album. And Dave, please do the honors.
I'll do the honors. The album you're talking about is the censored cover. There you go.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's it,
the
bro.
one I have
That's
too.
it.
Yeah.
That is fucking metal, bro. If that's not metal, I don't know what is. Like,
Yeah.
nuns burning a priest. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
No other band would fucking put that on an album. Like,
Yeah.
and this
No
cancel
other band is
culture
ballsy enough.
this cancel culture bullshit likes to fucking, fucking censor it. And it's bullshit, man. I absolutely hate this
It is
Gen Z
bullshit.
or is it Gen Z? What the fuck is this generation now? The whatever
Who
they
the
fucking
fuck
call it,
knows?
dude. It's bullshit. It's dumb, bro. And my kid will not grow up to this cancel culture bullshit. I will tell you that right now. But anyway, politics and pop culture aside, Burn the Priest's
Yeah.
self-titled album is fucking amazing.
It is. Good album.
The drums, dude. The drums on this album are just, oh my god. And the guitar, dude, Randy's vocals, they are the best vocals on any Lamb of God album or / Burn the Priest album. In my opinion, that is his best vocal work on this album. It's whenever he was in his early 20s or early 30s, or late 20s. Late
Yeah.
20s, I believe he was. Because he's, I think 15 years older than me. I'm 33. Well, I'll be 33
he's like-
soon.
I think he's early 50s or something now.
He's 48, I believe, 49.
Something
But
like
yeah,
that,
dude, this album is amazing. It's fucking amazing, dude. And I will get an album review on my channel as soon as possible for Burn the Priest. I hope you guys will watch it. But yeah, man, it's fucking. I'm gonna be getting into every single track too. Like I've heard most of these tracks. There's some I haven't heard on here, but most of them are just fucking bangers. Lies of
Yeah.
Autumn is my all-time favorite Burn the Priest song. That is just an amazing song. That and fucking Resurrection number 9 are my two favorites on this album. And of course, Bloodletting. Bloodletting is just sets the standard of this is Lamb of God. Like when you hear Bloodletting, when I hear someone said, "Oh, this is fucking Lamb of God, Bloodletting," I was like, "No, motherfucker, this is Burn the Priest, Bloodletting, not Lamb of God." I almost punched that guy at the concert when that said that shit. But
I always
yeah.
thought it was funny that they went from Burn the Priest to Lamb of God name-wise. I always thought it was funny
I like it, man.
that they go
It's because
from
of
burning a
cancel
priest
culture.
to Jesus Christ.
It's the cancel culture that made him fucking switch the name, probably. But I don't
Is
know.
that what it
Yeah,
was?
I think
Probably.
it
I
was-
mean, because cancel
Yeah.
culture started in the late 2010s. I think. I can't remember. But yeah.
I think it was to be more commercially appeased to change their name.
hmm
Maybe.
Yeah, I think Burn the Priest was it. From what I remember reading, from the label. I don't think it was. The label wasn't happy with it.
It wasn't
They weren't happy with the
appropriate.
name,
It wasn't.
so,
It wasn't appropriate. There you go.
yeah,
But you got Cannibal
Funny
Corpse.
thing
Like, what
about
the
it-
fuck, man?
The funny thing about it is it's like complete opposite. They went from burning a priest to being Jesus Christ. It's just hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. But You got Infinite Annihilator. How come they didn't change their name? Or he didn't?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's one person project. He
Yes,
didn't
yeah.
change his name. But yeah,
Yeah.
but
That's
yeah,
that's an
I
insane
fucking
band
love this
or
album.
one person band.
I love this band. This band in general. Burn the Priest and the Lamb of God are just. It's
Yeah.
high school nostalgia, man. See, it's high school nostalgia. Like I'm 33, man, and I still listen to it. Still fucking listen to this shit. So, yeah, go ahead. Number 2 for you, Jamie.
Right, yeah, cool, yeah. Burn the Priest. I haven't listened to that album for a long time, but from what I remember, it'd just be kind of like fast, short, kind of like early
Short
metal.
songs.
Like
Yeah.
it's not really hardcore. It's more like it's almost like early wave of like raw metalcore, or like something like that. Like yeah, like a hard metal, hardcore metal sort of thing. I haven't played in a while. I should have, well, but yeah, it's
Their new one is more hardcore punk.
Yeah.
Their old one is nothing like that, Jamie. If you've not listened to the old one, you need to fucking go listen to it because it is the metalhead's fucking anthem for Lamb of God. Seriously, it's amazing.
I don't think I played it for so long and enough that I couldn't even remember enough to speak on it. But yeah. Number 2, I believe you guys have already picked it, but might be my pick for Wrath. Wrath is up for me, number 2.
Awesome.
And
That album is so great. I can't even comment on it any more than I already have. It's so great.
Yeah.
I could definitely, depending on the weekday, month, year, whatever, I could probably have this and Sacrament swapped out in between, like maybe Sacrament be number 2
Yep.
or this is number 2.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's such a great album.
I think because maybe I played Sacrament to death when it came out, and Wrath still feels fresher to me at that time. So I think, yeah, maybe for that reason alone, I'd probably just pick Wrath. But yeah, Wrath, all out bangers. You know, we got The Passing, Set to Fail, Contractor, Fake Messiah, Grace, Broken Hands, Dead Seeds, Everything to Nothing, Choke Sermon.
Every track is fucking 10
They're all
out of
just
10.
bangers.
Straight up.
This is
Every
pretty
10.
much like this would be like Lamb of God greatest hits right here. Almost seems like
It's
that
amazing.
way because, and you know, the really cool thing is the flow of this album. It kind of just like flows really nice from track to track to track, and it's probably a little bit more aggressive than Sacrament was, but they probably go back to their more straightforward sound, like As the Palaces Burn. Like this is probably more of an As Palaces Burn throwback. Even with the production, it kind of has like the production and mix is weird too.
Dirty, bro. It's dirty. Really, it's gritty.
It's really
dark.
Weird.
I love it.
Between Wrath, Sacrament, and Ashes of the Wake, they came out in basically in the succession. Ashes of the Wake, Sacrament, and then Wrath came out all like 3 in a row. But the really cool thing is how different each of them sound, like production mix wise. Like that's kind of what sets them. That's kind of what really stands each of them out is the production and mix. Like when I think of Sacrament and Wrath, the production and mixes, they sound completely different on each of them, so they really stand out. But yeah, Wrath is an all banger. The production and mix is really kind of interesting. Like even now when I listen to it back, I'm like, oh, this is like a little bit different than whatever I was listening to before, right? Whatever would be like, you know, perfect production mix or whatever. But I was like, yeah, this is a bit different, but in terms of mixed production. But other than that, banger songs. It's basically something you would play a few times. You start to hum along to the choruses, and next thing you know, you're all raging and air drumming and singing along and all sort of stuff. So it's one of those albums there that you got full of anthems, full of rage, full of intense, full of all this kind of cool stuff. Drum fills, riffs, everything's there. Fun time, but it's not like so angry and metal that it's like bringing you down. Like it's like uplifting kind of that sort of stuff. So yeah, cool stuff. And cool, move along, and we'll go with the Barrie's number 2.
My number 2 is Burn the Priest.
Oh, Brad.
Self-titled or cover album?
The self-title, the
Fuck yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Awesome.
I couldn't
Why?
keep it out because of it being Burn the Priest and who they are, and
Mhm.
being an original Lamb of God. I couldn't leave it out of my top 5. I had to put it in there.
Oh no, yeah, you can't. It's a must.
It's amazing.
I lost everybody's picture, by the way. I don't know why. I can hear everybody, but I
safe,
can't see
bro.
everybody.
Oh,
Yeah, it
on
said
your
you
cell,
disconnected. You probably have to reconnect.
on your cell phone, you just have to slide it over, I think, or something.
No, that's what I'm saying. I can hear everybody.
Oh. I
There's
can
no
see you.
picture. Okay, well, as long as you guys can see me, it's a big deal
Yeah.
then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
we
good.
can see you. I know on your cell phone, you just have to change the gallery over or something like that. I don't know, but anyway, you can mess around with that, and we'll go with yeah. So Barry did.
Wait. We're not done talking about this. Barry, what's your favorite track?
No, I can't narrow that down because I have not listened to it in a long time. So I don't know that I can pick a favorite track on Burn the Priest. And the thing with Burn the Priest is I found out about Burn the Priest after I found out about Lamb of God.
Same.
And I was just getting into Lamb of God when I found out about Burn the Priest.
Yeah.
Same.
So I was kind of like still in the Lamb of God zone. So I wasn't thinking about it as a different band, which I should have, because technically it's something different because they changed their name. They're considered a different band, I guess. So I didn't really, I came into it weird. So it's hard to narrow down a favorite track on that album.
That's fair. Lies of Autumn, man. That's fucking best track on that album, in my opinion. But yeah.
Yeah, I should track down a physical copy of that and get the CD before it becomes hard to get or something like that. But yeah,
It's a hard album to find. Actually, I think the only place you can get the vinyl is from the box set.
Yep. Wait, what
wow.
what is the box set? Can you send me the link to that, Dave?
Yeah.
On
The box
Zoom,
set's
please?
called,
So I
it's
can buy
called
that.
Hourglass.
I'm gonna get that, bro. Yeah. Where's that at?
Hourglass is the name of the box set.
Yeah. Can you link that, please?
Yeah,
In
I'll
the
send you.
chat,
Yeah.
if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I probably don't listen to that Burn the Priest album enough, probably just because I don't own it, so I probably just forget about it sometimes. But
So
yeah,
good. So
yeah,
good.
yeah, I should give it a listen. I should give it a fresh listen. I haven't played it in probably a couple of years, or probably 2-3 years now at this point. But yeah, I remember it being good. I remember it being almost like maybe almost like Phil Anselmo's Superjoint Ritual, where it's almost like that sort of style, almost.
Yeah, it's a different sound for sure. Obviously, Lamb of God never developed their sound till later, obviously, right? But it's but Randy's vocals on Burn the Priest are they're vicious, man. A lot more vicious than it's
They're
crazy.
very, very well done. They're compressed. They're more compressed.
Yeah.
They're more saturated. The guitars themselves also are more saturated. That's producers. You know, I'm a producer,
Yeah.
so I'm talking producer language.
Yeah.
But
It's a
yeah,
very well produced album.
very, yes.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, cool stuff. And then, yeah, you're actually up next. So, yeah, you want to say, I guess it'd be your number two.
Number two, man.
Well, I meant Dave. I believe. I don't think we did. Did we do Dave?
Oh, I thought. Oh, yeah, it is Dave's turn. Yeah.
Yep. That don't matter. Whoever.
Sorry.
I'll go. My number two
No,
album.
go ahead, Dave.
That's my number two album.
Oh, first
That's
time
what
we've
I-
seen that. This is first time we've seen that tonight. Well, yes,
What's your number 2? For some reason, my screen froze and I can't see the picture.
oh,
What's
sorry.
your number 2?
Wake.
Sorry, Ashes of the Wake.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always loved this album. Actually, this is the first album I ever heard from them. Was this one here? So
Mhm.
yeah, so they kind of it held a. Obviously, they have well, all their albums are great. Would I say, do I like it more than like Sacrament or Wrath? Yeah, I have it placed as my number two. I'm like you, Jamie. Like I could change. Like tomorrow, I could like Sturm more than this one. You know what I mean? Like every day is kind of different, right? But it's I place his number 2 because it holds a special place for me as being the first album I ever heard from him. You know, Laid to Rest, Hourglass, staple Lamb of
Yeah.
God tracks, right? Especially
If you
Hourglass.
don't mind me asking, Dave, how old are you? If you don't mind me
What's
asking.
that?
How
What's
old
that?
are you?
I'm 48.
So I guess age really doesn't matter when it comes to being a metalhead, does it?
No,
So
it doesn't,
whenever I
buddy.
get to like 70, I'll be a fucking metalhead. That's
Yeah,
dope.
I'm 48, man. I've been
That's
listening to
awesome.
metal since I was 13, 14. So
Nice.
yeah, yeah. And I love it all. I have all from AC/DC to death black metal. I love it all.
I have a 70-year-old on my channel that is a patron. He
Yeah.
listens to black metal and
Nice.
Lamb of God, shit like that. It's
Damn.
fucking cool, man.
Nice.
Yeah, love it. I was like, I always joked with him. I was like, I thought when you get older, you just listen to country and fucking whatever the kids listen
Nah.
to. He's like, no, fuck that, bro.
Well, I'm 38 and I've been listening to this kind of stuff since I want to say 14.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, same me, 14, 13, 14. So I started with the classics like Sabbath, Maiden, Priest, all that stuff.
So the band that actually brought me into metal, I don't listen to anymore. If you could believe that. Korn was the
Dude.
band that brought me into metal.
Really?
Oh, really?
I love
Nice.
Korn.
Yeah.
Korn, I
Love
saw the
Korn.
video I first saw the video for Got the Life and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And that's
Yeah.
when I started listening to metal, and I actually don't listen to Korn anymore. But that's where it started.
I did a demo of Freak on a Leash recently. If you want to go check that out, man, on my channel.
On your channel?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, a vocal cover.
All right, I'll go
It's
check
not
it.
a full. It's just a demo, just a little quick demo of the breakdown.
Yeah, I'll
But
check it out for sure. I'll have to get your YouTube link and I'll check it out later.
Dope. Make sure you guys subscribe to Jamie if you haven't already, please. Because I don't know if you guys have a YouTube or not, but yeah, make sure you subscribe to Jamie because he works hard on his videos.
Oh, I do. I'm on it. Yep,
And
for
that
sure.
goes for you motherfuckers watching this video too. I love call people motherfuckers. Sorry. Every motherfucker that watched this video, subscribe to Metal Connection. All right, everybody. All right.
Oh, just so you're
Cool.
aware, Jamie, I was doing my stream yesterday. Had like 40 views on my stream,
You got
and
two?
I did mention you on my stream. Just so you're aware, I
Oh,
put
cool.
a connection on my stream.
Are you
Yeah,
on Twitch?
you do Twitch.
I am on Twitch. My Twitch is
Send me
Sabot456. If you guys want to check me out,
What is it?
Sabot456. SAIBOT 456.
Okay. Cybot.
And
Nice.
I have a YouTube channel too, but my YouTube is just to kind of archive my Twitch videos. My YouTube is Ed Sabot Gaming.
I'm gonna add you.
Great. That would be
Okay.
great. I'll be
Yeah, I
doing a
follow
stream as soon as we're done with this video. I'll be hopping on my stream. So if you want to check that out,
Cybot. What's your YouTube? Cybot. What?
Ed Sabot Gaming. EDSAIBOT Gaming.
EB. Sorry.
ED. D like dog.
ED.
EDSAIBOT Gaming.
Ed Cybot.
So the reason it's different, let me explain why it's different. Because my PlayStation handle is Ed Sabot, but when I went to go make a Twitch, it wouldn't let me use it.
Yeah, I don't
So
see you,
that's why
bro.
my
We're
Twitch is
gonna
different.
have to get to you. You're gonna have to send me a link or something. But yeah,
I'll send you a link.
follow.
I'll send it to Jamie and
any
I'll
of you
have him
guys-
send it to you.
If any of you guys have projects, if you're creators, send me your links, please. I love supporting other people. So, but yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to bring her because I did give you a shout out, Jamie, on my video
Cool.
yesterday. Because
Thank
I was
you.
like, I was on a show called The Metal Connection doing my top 5 Pop Roach, and I told everybody to go check it out. So I did do that for you.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, too bad. I think I'm pretty sure that video got messed up, but this one should be fine. So,
I'll
yeah.
make sure I
so-
let people know again when I get on my stream tonight. I'll make sure I plug it.
And Jamie, I got you on the lineup for I'm doing 5 channels that are going up for shout outs in the summer once June rolls around. I'll be
Woohoo.
giving your channel also a shout out. So a video.
Woohoo. Woohoo, cool stuff. Yeah, I don't even know anything about that. I'm actually just finding out right now about that. So I'll have to find some more about details about that. But so we'd be actually at you, I believe. Dave did Ashes of the Wake. And so we'd be back to you, Boss.
All right, so I'm gonna cheat, boys. Sorry, I'm gonna cheat here. I'm not gonna pick two for two. I'm just gonna tell you right now. My number 3 was Sacrament, right? Or no, sorry, my number 3 was what was my number
Burn
3?
the Priest. Burn the Priest.
Burn the Priest. Burn the Priest and Ashes of the Wake are going in the same one, man. I cannot choose between. I can't choose between the two. I listened to both of those at the same time during the same years of my life, and I absolutely love both of those albums. They're fucking fantastic. I feel they go hand in hand with each other as well. They're same sound, same guitar licks. Well, not really same, but very same playing, same vocal style. His highs are amazing on Ashes, as also the Burn the Priest. But yeah, man, I cheat. I'm sorry, guys. You guys can, give me the finger. Do what you want. All right. Number 2, As the Palaces Burn. As the Palaces Burn, the old version. I absolutely fucking hate the new redone version. Absolutely fucking hate it. They should have never fucking did it. I don't know why they did. It absolutely sounds like shit. Everybody's like, Poss, why do you hate the new version of As the Palaces Burn? I was like, because it's not original. It's not gritty. I love seeing the production of bands. Like I love seeing the progression of bands through albums. If you go back to listen to Science by Incubus, and then you listen to fucking A Crow Left Over the Murder, you can definitely tell the difference. Or listening to Dysfunction and then listening to Chapter 4, you can tell the difference. If you listen to fucking Hybrid Theory and you listen to fucking One More Light by Linkin Park, you can definitely tell the fucking difference.
Just like what we were talking about with our last one, Jamie, with Papa Roach, the difference between Infest and Ego Trip was huge. Remember we were talking about that?
Yeah. Never listened to Ego Trip yet.
You gotta listen to that shit, man. It's amazing. It is amazing.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Did they go back to new metal? They go back to new metal?
So,
They're not fucking mainstream garbage anymore?
So it depends on how you listen to it. They incorporated it, but they kind of, it's hard to explain. Like they went harder, but they incorporated their old stuff, but kind of tried to stay modern, if that makes sense.
So I try to stay away from the new trending music because, like, dude, there's a lot of fucking traffic. That's all channels fucking do on YouTube is they react to fucking the newest shit. I was like, dude, what about the old shit that this nostalgia? There's a lot of industrial bands.
There's a lot of old school Linkin Park vibes to it.
Yeah.
A lot of old school Linkin Park vibes. There's some like you hear some kind of like Escape the Fate type stuff in there. So they kind of mixed it in. I thought it was really good.
I'll have to get around to listening to that or doing an album review. But yeah. That's why I started my channel, man. My channel started with fucking World of Warcraft, and it switched over to fucking industrial new metal because there's no fucking reactor out there that I watch that except for One Night in Vegas or Lost in Vegas that reacts to like new metal and fucking and industrial metal especially. There's no fucking reactor.
Oh, industrial, Jamie, we should do it. We should do a Rammstein. We should do a Rammstein show.
I would be down for that. Well,
look at that. Speak of coincidence, Dave's asked me about Rammstein. Not about doing Rammstein.
We should do a Rammstein show. That would be awesome.
Rammstein.
I'm not even familiar with all the Rammstein albums. So.
No.
Wow.
Rammstein is amazing.
But yeah, As the Palaces Burn, that is my number 2, the old version. We went off that rant. Sorry, guys. But yeah.
Oops.
From the fucking beginning track, the very first track I heard on this album, and the very first Lamb of God track that I ever listened to in my entire life was Blood Junkie. Joey told me about this song. He's like, dude, you gotta listen to this song. The breakdown where he just goes, what? And he fucking doesn't even take a breath when he does it. It's fucking fantastic. I tried to do it so many times as a a one take is impossible to do. I definitely think that this was definitely produced, and he took a break and then did the next vocals, but he put it all as one vocal. Fucking awesome song, dude. Absolutely love this. I love the fucking scary ass intro. Fucking great fucking song, dude. Love this song so much. Ruin, the scream for Ruin, the beginning scream in Ruin, I practiced my whole life, and I just recently nailed it. It is I think it's so Linkin Park has a 17-second scream, and what is it? Get Off or get sorry, Given Up. Given Up is a 17-second scream, and in Ruin it's a 12-second scream, I believe, and I nailed it the other day. So I can't wait to fucking get this cover. Can't wait to get this cover out to the public, man. It sounds fucking beautiful.
That's awesome.
As the Palaces Burn, fucking amazing song. Love this song so much. I love how the drums just go along with the guitar as a technically placed masterpiece beginning. And then the drums with the snare and the hi-hat is just fucking awesome. And then the double bass, dude. Chris is a hell of a fucking drummer. I just gotta tell you, man. He's one of the best drummers. Him and Neil Peart, man. Both of those guys. And Danny Carey, all three of those guys. Fucking greatest of all time drummers. Purified. I didn't really care for this track, to be honest. It's a great track, but like it's definitely a track that gets skipped a lot by me. 11th Hour is the very first track I learned how to play on this album on the guitar.
Nice.
I still can't play it perfectly, but yeah, I remember the music video. This was during the time of, is it Iraqi Freedom? When did this come out? Yeah, this is Iraqi Freedom.
Yep.
It's because I'm military, guys. I'm U.S. Air Force, if you didn't know.
Hey,
Thanks, thank you.
I'm military too, bud.
Oh, really? Are
Thank
you
you.
Canadian Royal or?
Yep. I'm in the Air
Royal
Force as well. Yep.
Nice, awesome. Yeah,
I started in the Army, but I'm Air Force now.
nice. Yeah, I've been in for almost 4 years. This will make 4.
Nice.
So
How long?
I'm putting on staff. 4. I'm putting on staff, hopefully.
November will have 30 years.
So you're a chief master sergeant.
I was a master warrant officer, actually.
Oh wait, you retired. Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm still in.
So
I'm
you're
reservist now.
Wait, you guys have warrant officers in the U.S. Air Force?
Yeah.
Or
Canadian.
Canadian? Sorry.
Yep.
That's dope. Yeah, we don't have warrant officers. I wish we did. I would have went for it. Anyways, let me get back to this. Sorry. For Your Malice was Joey's favorite song on this album. Not really one that I love the ending of it, but like the beginning just not there. Not really there. Boot Scraper, fucking great song. Awesome song. I love just the beginning is great. A Devil in God's Country. Is this the one with the drum intro? No, the drum intro, In Defense of Our Good Name, was that, dude. Woo. I love the intro to this. Just how much fucking quads go into playing this song is unbelievable. And then they hit you with Vigil at the end. I already talked about Blood Junkie. Blood Junkie's fucking amazing. Vigil at the end. Oh, dude. Why, Father? Why will be done? Fucking amazing, dude. I just I love his vocals in this. Dude, it's so fucking great, dude. That's awesome. I wasn't expecting it. It scared the living shit out of me. Just like Memento Mori scared the living shit out of me first time I heard it.
Memento Mori is a good song. I heard it for the first time yesterday.
It reminded me of Vigil. Whenever I listened to Memento Mori, I was like, this is just like fucking Vigil. It's fucking soft. It's fucking, and then, wow, father! Like, what the fuck is this? Never heard it, dude, in my life, like, ever. And this is the very first album besides Deftones, but like, I didn't know that Deftones was considered metal before I knew that they were metal. This is the very first metal album that I listened to in my entire life. And to this day, to this day, I still play these songs, dude. Like I said, it's been fucking, I don't know, 20 something years that I've been playing this album, dude. Fucking amazing. This album's awesome. That's why it's getting my number 2.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a classic essential Lamb of God where, yeah, it's definitely kind of, essential. It's got some classics in there. Although I can understand if people don't like it. Like I can understand. I'm sure there's certain Lamb of God fans that actually don't like that older stuff, but I can understand. Maybe it's too old
Well,
for them.
if they're older Lamb of God fans and they don't like it, they're not Lamb of God fans.
Oh, but
I'm just saying.
I could see how maybe some Lamb of God fans don't like some of their older stuff. I could see it, maybe because the production is not there. I could see some people not liking it. So I'm sure there's a couple of people out there that don't like the old Lamb of God stuff. I'm sure there is some people out there, but yeah, I definitely had to get it As Palaces Burn in there. I had it As Palaces Burn. That has my number 4, so I think that is their kind of classic essential older one for me. I prefer it over New American Gospel, but my number 1, one of the greatest metal albums of all time, Ashes of the Wake. Give me no
Do it.
surprise. This
Do it,
is
bro.
yeah, this is one of the greatest metal
That's amazing.
of all time, of any era, 80s, 90s, 2000s, of any genre, death, thrash, power, groove, industrial, new metal, metalcore, far between the years, eras, genres, this is still one of the best metal albums of all time. I don't know what how they were able to make everything's just perfect. Everything, the songs, the riffs, everything, the drumming, is just off the charts. The drumming almost brought me to like the first time I heard South of Heaven, where I'm like, this is fucking incredible. This
Pantera?
drum Slayer
Oh, it's Slayer. Okay, sorry.
South of Heaven. When I heard Slayer South of Heaven album, like,
That's another band I never got into is Slayer.
it is insane. It's just driving this whole album, and then when I heard this, I'm just like, holy shit! The drumming is just driving this whole band and the whole the sound and
Great.
just making them so unique. I'd never heard anything like it. Yeah, Chris Adler
What's your
definitely
favorite track?
he had his own style for sure, and he brought his style to life on this album. This is where Lamb of God created that patented sound. Even though some of that patented sound was starting to come on As the Palaces Burn, and then they got the big record label. They signed the big record label to Epic. They got the money to produce the drum sound that he finally wanted, and boom, they produce a classic killer, one of the best albums ever. Favorite track? That's tough because it's almost like the whole album. It's like, can I choose the whole album as one track?
Faded Line, bro. Faded Line.
Yeah.
Faded Line's.
Yeah, I don't know, man. What I've become, Omerta. Now you've got something to die for. Even Blood of the Scribe. That's hard.
Yeah.
But this is pretty much just like Lamb of God Greatest Hits, Volume 2. The whole track.
Yeah, it really is. It's amazing. It's an amazing album. I'm really pissed that I had to leave it off my top 3 or fucking top. Well, I included it, but like I said, I was gonna put it as number 2. But man, I can't, man. I can't get rid of an album that started me on metal. Like I had to pick ATPB. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's no surprise, although it was a surprise when Clint didn't have it as his number 1. He had Sacrament as
That's
number
a very surprising thing. Yeah, I thought he was gonna pick it.
But
he seems a little bit younger though. He's younger than all of us here, it seems like. So I don't think he's really explored the full extent of Lamb of God.
Right.
In my personal opinion.
I think he's my age, a couple of years younger than my age.
Oh, really? Okay.
36. He's definitely in his mid 30s for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, nothing
younger.
much more I could say other than reading the whole track list off. Every track's great. There's no dead tracks. There's no filler tracks. Yeah, just classic essential. Again, if anyone's watching Lamb of God and you've watched an hour into this show already, I'm sure you've already heard it. I'm sure you already know it. You don't need to talk about it and beat it to death. But
If
yeah.
you're a new fan of Lamb of God, this is an essential album for you to buy.
Oh,
Definitely.
absolutely, yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty much like Metallica's,
Black.
yeah, it's pretty much like Metallica's, Master of Puppets, basically.
The Black album, Metallica's Black album is a must buy.
Yeah,
I
it's not like
disagree.
their Black album or their
Disagree.
Master of Puppets. It's just like, that's the album that you got to go to.
I'm not a huge Metallica fan anyway.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's my top 5 for me. So we'll finish it off and do everyone else's number ones. But Barry, what's your number one?
You muted your mic, Barry.
Looks like you muted your
There you
mic, but we heard. I read your lips anyway.
So my number one is also Ashes of the Wake.
Yeah.
And it is because that is actually my introductory Lamb of God. That's the first album I listened to ever.
Nice.
My brother introduced me to it and he was like, hey, you got to listen to this. And I was like, holy crap. And I've liked Lamb of God ever since.
Great album.
It is a great album.
Yeah, and killer artwork. I know I still have a T-shirt of that artwork. I believe it's on a back patch now, or on one of my battle vests. I believe now I cut it up, but yeah, really cool artwork. I always did the cool Phoenix. I mean, what do you think that is? Is that like a Phoenix rising or?
That's a vulture.
Vulture. Yeah.
But yeah.
Let me get a closer look at that. Hang on. That's a
Boss,
vulture, though.
put me on the spot by asking my favorite track, but so I'd ask you, what do you think your favorite track off the album is?
The Faded Line. The Faded Line, the screams in the Faded Line are just fucking amazing, especially at the ending. Like I could give you guys a fucking demo if you want. Hang on.
No, I meant Barry. What was Barry's favorite track off the album?
I'm gonna give me 1 second. I have it written down. Give me 1 second.
Sorry, I thought you said pause. My bad.
I'm not saying like you had asked me what my favorite track was. So
Laid to Rest is the song I would go to if you're going to ask me my favorite track. That would be it.
The opening ass kicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hourglass is mine.
Yeah. It's
Hourglass.
badass, dude.
Yeah.
Hourglass, dude. The vomit riff on Hourglass is amazing. I still can't play it. It's a great guitar work. Seriously, it's awesome.
Just a heavy, groovy track.
It's evil. It's a very evil sounding track. Very evil. Especially when it gets to that fucking dude. Oh my god. So evil. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. And then would there be any surprise on Dave's number one?
It was already mentioned a few times, and I got to go with it.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Fucking knew it, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Burn the Priest. It was close between this and Ashes of the Wake. It was between those two. But it Burn. I don't know. I could go with either one, but I mean, Burn the Priest just takes it for me overall. It's just such a brutal album, man. Just like for a first album, the production is like spot on. It's so heavy. It's still got that grooviness that they have as Lamb of God, not as much.
It doesn't sound like something that came out in the early 90s. Let's just
No,
put
it doesn't.
that way. Like
Yeah,
at
no.
all.
No, not at all.
Yeah, but Yeah, great album, man. My favorite track on this is Resurrection 9. Love that track.
Yes.
But yeah, they're all good, man. Yeah.
When was the album recorded?
What's that?
1990,
When was the
1997
album
or
recorded?
96?
99.
It was recorded
99.
in 1999.
99, yeah.
Right before White Pony was released. I believe they finished that album.
Yeah.
In October, I think.
But yeah, it's such a killer album, man. I love the artwork too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, just love it.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah. I also have it obviously never made my top 5, but I also have the covers album as well.
That was actually a decent album. I really
it was,
liked
Yeah.
Kerosene was a badass song.
Yeah.
I forget
Really
what the
good.
other one was.
Covers. There were some decent covers on that one.
Yeah. The one thing I found with this though, obviously they obviously went back to Burn the Priest for this album, but to me, this is Lamb of God, right? This is more of a Lamb of God sound than Burn the
I
Priest was.
Against I. That's my favorite track. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Against I, yeah. Great track. Kerosene, yeah.
I
But
love
the
that they
covers
made a
album-
covers album, man.
Really
Like,
good.
that's awesome.
Good. Yeah. But yeah, Burn the Priest, my number 1.
Wow. Did they ever make a new album, Burn the Priest, like with new material? Didn't they make one
No.
with material?
They make covers
Oh.
and self-titled, but I'm sure
That's
in the
what-
future they'll make another
That's what
one.
that was, Jamie.
Back.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because when this first came out, it actually kind of confused me because I'm like, oh fuck, Burn the Priest released a new album, but it's covers album.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think when this first came out, it confused some people when it first came out because I honestly thought that I originally thought that, oh, did they change their name back to Burn the Priest? But no, they didn't. And they're like, oh, they've released another album as Burn the Priest, which technically they did, but it's just a covers album. But there's some good tracks on there though.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah.
I loved hearing a groove metal / death metal band, technical death metal band cover punk songs. That's insane.
That's
It's
interesting.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, so there we go. Yeah. Boss, I guess you'd be up with your number 1.
The album that got me started into screaming. Wrath.
Nice.
Wrath is
Awesome.
the all-time fucking greatest of all time Lamb of God
It's a good
album.
album.
Lamb of God
It really
and
is
Burn
a
the
good
Priest
album.
album, in my opinion, man. It's fucking amazing. Every single track on this, from the acoustic intro, the passing, into just the fucking first time I heard In Your Words was when he was hitting his mid screams. I never heard anything like that with Randy's screams. And it's just it's set to fail. Oh my god, dude. Every track. Contractor was the very first track I heard on this album because it came out as a visualizer on YouTube in 2008. I was in college. Or 2009. I was in college. Fake Messiah, great fucking track. I love Choke Sermon too. Choke Sermon is fucking awesome. Grace, the intro to Grace, oh dude, and then it goes I still can't play it. It's fucking amazing. Even I can't even play the intro. So good, man. I've so many times I've tried to play this. Broken Hands, fucking amazing track. Second song I've ever listened to on this album was Broken Hands. And finally, Dead Seas was my third one that I ever first heard on this album. And Everything Nothing. Really don't care for this track, but it's still a good track. But it's still a 10 out of 10 track. Don't get me wrong. I just it's not something I really cared for. It's still a 10 out of 10, but I didn't really care for it. That just goes to show you I fucking love this album. Choke Sermon, fucking amazing track. It's Choke words. Fucking love it, dude. And then you have the beginning scream to my all-time favorite fucking Lamb of God song of all time ever, Reclamation. Absolutely love the low scream that begins on this track. Just I practiced for so many years to do this scream. It is ridiculous, man. Contractor and Reclamation are my two favorites. My three favorites, definitely Contractor, or sorry, Reclamation is my first, then Contractor, then fucking Broken Hands, probably my third favorite. But yeah, dude, this album is the Lamb of God GOAT, in my opinion. This is their best album they have ever made. And I bought this the very first day it came out. I was in line to buy this album at the record store.
It's
And
definitely a great one.
unfortunately, I did not get it on vinyl, but I will. I actually, before we started this conference call, I was actually going to order the gold vinyl on eBay. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do it, man, because this album is a staple for Lamb of God fans. This is definitely a must listen and definitely a must buy. It's 10 out of 10. Fuck, it's an 11 out of 10. Fuck it, it's 100 out of 10. It's fucking amazing, dude. It's an amazing album. I still play every single song every single day. It's great. I did a contractor vocal cover back when I was 18 years old or 17 years old. It sounds like shit. It's on my old channel. It's on my old channel. But I did a recent one of Reclamation on my channel for PTB Empire, and it only has 7 likes. So, wink, wink. You guys should go check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, man. Yeah, this album's fucking amazing, dude. It's an amazing album. It is the greatest of all time, Lamb of God. And I've gotten into fights with people, physical fights with people saying that this versus Ashes of the Wake are like, nah, bro, Ashes of the Wake is fucking the best album of all time. But Lamb of God is like, no, it is not, dude. It's not. I'm sorry. It's amazing.
This definitely shouldn't be overlooked. Like if someone is
It's
just
fucking
thinking Ashes of the Lake and everything else sucks, they're definitely
amazing.
wrong. Like this definitely should not be overlooked. Or
I get into fangirl vibes when I talk about this album. That's how much I love it, dude. Like this album is around the fur for Deftones for me, for Lamb of God.
Oh, nice. Okay. Okay.
ATF's my all-time favorite Deftones album. And then Fear Factory, my all-time favorite Fear Factory album is fucking what's the name of it?
Manufactured.
Nah, dude, it's not that one. Hang on. I'll have to look it up. But yeah, man, that dude,
Immortal?
Wrath, fucking amazing, dude.
I love
I need to look it
Digimortal.
up.
I know people don't like that.
I
On
love Digimortal. I love the new
Factory-
metal aspect.
Fear Factory is one of those underrated bands. I really like Fear Factory. They're pretty good.
Very underrated. I absolutely hate how underrated they are. They're just like this band. If you guys haven't heard this band, they sound just like Fear Factory. Conflict.
Who?
It's a girl singer. Conflict.
I can't see who it. Conflict.
Conflict. Hang on, let me move this.
I'll have to look them up.
Yeah. But yeah. All-time favorite Fear Factory album is Archetype. It's fucking
Oh
amazing.
yeah, that was their. That was
Yeah.
where they got their sound. That album is awesome. Archetype is a great one.
Yeah, but man, getting back to Lamb of God, dude, I really appreciate you doing this, Jamie, and it was really nice meeting all you guys on here, man. I love doing this stuff. I love talking about music.
Yeah,
It
me
is my
too.
passion to talk about music and to play music and to make music. So, if you guys, after obviously I don't want to self promote, but yeah, my new album's out. I'll link it to you guys if you want to listen to it. It has Incubus, Deftones, Lamb of God, fucking Suicide Silence. Those are all my
Nice.
inspirations, all in one album.
I'll definitely listen to it. I'll definitely give it a listen.
Yeah, man. But I really appreciate you for doing this, Jamie, man. I fucking love getting on your show and talking about music. I can't wait for the next one.
Thank you so
Hoping
much
it's
for coming on.
Steam.
Thanks so much for doing this. And yeah, you actually brought the idea to me to do Lamb of God. I'm like, yeah, I like Lamb of God, sure, absolutely. And I was kind of curious to wonder, is Ashes of the Wake gonna be everyone's number one? Like I knew that was my number one, but I didn't know if that was gonna be everyone else's number one. So it was kind of interesting to see how everything else is gonna shake out.
I want to give a quick shout out to the whole reason that we are together today. HFTB, also known as Neckbeard Noose. He has a Facebook group. If you guys like talking about music, if you like new metal, come join HFTB New Metal or New Metal Revival on Facebook. It's a group that talks about metal, links metal all the time. That's how me and Jamie met. So, but yeah, it's fucking cool, man. How networking works. It really is. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Absolutely love this, man. It's great.
Yeah, close stuff. Yeah, so we gave all our 5 picks. So it sounds like we're going to be wrapping up the show here and all getting out of here. So maybe we'll all say our goodbyes. Thanks all the guests for doing the show. Thanks, Clint. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Dave, Barrie, Poss. Thank everyone for doing the show. And yeah, I guess we'll all say our goodbyes and get out of here. So yeah,
Yep.
peace, love,
Peace out,
rock.
guys.
Let me know if you want to do any other shows, Jamie. I'm always down.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
for real.
Okay, see you everyone. Bye.